ètò kó kọ́ni lọ́gbọ́n ìròyìn káàkiri àgbáyé gbogbo ń dáradára mèremère o tó ń bẹ lórí ẹ̀rọ amóhùnmáwòrán OSBC ẹ̀yin lọ lọ́rùn fífún o.
Mondays to Fridays, 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. in the newsroom. You can't afford to miss it.
And because you would not want to miss in the newsroom on OSBC television, is my name. From 1900 to somewhere in 1946, that was when Richard was Nigeria's Governor General. Nigeria, from 1900 to somewhere in 1906, we had the Northern and Southern Protectorates. Around 1906, we have this Northern Protectorate, Southern Protectorate, and Calabar, province, making it three. Yeah. By 1946, Nigeria was broken into three regions: the Northern region, the Southern region, and the Western region. And that was what Nigeria operated until July 1967, when the then head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, saw the need for Nigeria to operate the state system, and that was when he created 12 states out of the three regions. And that was when we have the old Oyo state, we have the old Kwara state, and some other states. By 1987, during the tenure of the retired General Ibrahim Badamaso Bangida, he too created another 1976, precisely on the 3rd of February 1976. That was 10 days before the assassination of the late General Muritala Mohammed. He added 7 more states to make it 19. And we ran 19 states from 1976 to 1987, during which General Ibrahim Bangida created another 2, making it 21 states. And still, in 1986, when Babangida was the head of state, he created another, was it 1991? Yes, another 9 states, making it 30. And that was August 27, 1991. That was when Osun State was carved out of the old Oyo State, making it 30 states. And by 1996, during the tenure of the late General Sani Abacha, he too added another 6 states, making it 36 states. And that is what we are currently operating in Nigeria. Nigeria is a very big country of 36 states, but some people will tell you it's not as big as US, that has about 52 states. Now, some Nigerians still clamoring for more states, from the north, from the east, even down here from the west. The southerners, the southwest are clamoring for Lagoon State, the Lagos area, Ijebu State from Ogun State, Ibadan State from Ibadan. And Ogun State, also part of of your state, and some are saying, well, even some are saying that we should have Ijesha State. How far we have gone about that, I don't know. Yes, my colleague is Kayode Adibayo.
Thank you for having me in the newsroom. Today.
Yes, you're welcome. Now, agitation for creation of more states. Let us have an overview of your opinion about that.
Okay, you see. When people talk of creation of more states in the country, we need to ask ourselves certain questions. Since we started creating states in this country, has the creation of states solved our problem in this country? That is the question. Those agitation for more states, I don't see it as a solution to Nigeria challenges. Because one thing is that, you see, the problem with Nigeria has to do with the dysfunctional nature of the federal structure that we are currently operating. So now, we don't need to pretend at finding solution to our problem. If we are saying, okay, we are agitating for creation of state, now we have to ask ourselves, will that solve our problem? I don't think it can ever solve our problem in this country. You see, our federal structure, there is a problem with our federal structure. Okay. There is a problem with the way we operate our constitution in this country. Those are the 2 key areas that we need to look at in finding solutions to Nigeria challenges. But creation of more states, I don't think it intends to solve our problem. Creation of more states, yes, people have rights to agitate for self-determination. Say, okay, this is where I want to belong. This is where I want to stay. Like we are now in Osun State. If some people feel that, okay, they can no longer stay in Osun State, they have the right to agitate for another separate state that will be their home. Okay. But I don't think creation of state will ever be a solution to our problem.
Yes, Kayode, well, let's look at it now. Some people will tell you, well, state creation has its own advantage. That assuming Osun State is still, part of the old Oyo State now. Yeah. People will be telling you, for you to travel from Okeila to Shaki,
yeah.
You know how long that will take you. That's number one.
Yes.
If Osun is still under the old Oyo State, do you think we will be talking about the kind of job the governor is doing here in Osogbo, opening up, rural areas to roads, dualization of roads, bridges? Would a governor in Ibadan be thinking about developing Osogbo or any other town for that matter?
You see, the problem we have is not creation of state per se. Okay. Even if we make Osogbo a state on its own, Osogbo alone to be a state on its own, it doesn't mean that whoever governs the state will rule well. That is what we have to look at. You see, if our leaders have been administering the affairs of people in line with the expectations and aspirations of the people, nobody will be talking about creation of more state. But because some people feel that they are so changed in developmental projects, that's the reason why people tend to agitate for creation of more state. In my own view, that is my own opinion.
Yes, I'm going by your opinion again. Some will ask some questions. Let's go to Kwara State.
Okay.
They will tell you Kwara State is all about Ilorin.
Yeah.
Take Ilorin out of Kwara State. They ask you which other town has been developed in Kwara.
You see?
They will tell you, no, let me just, I am supporting you now, and I'm being analytical about it. Okay, let's go to your state now. The development for your state is all about Ibadan. And partially Ogbomoso.
And Oyo. Those big towns.
Just three.
But let's ask a question. The rural area, people in rural areas, are they not paying taxes
to the state government?
Are
they feeling the impact?
Yes, are they feeling the impact? Are they not entitled to the national cake that used to come from Abuja? Why is it that our concentration is only on, in the urban areas?
Yes. You go to Ogun State, people will tell you everything about Ogun State is about Abeokuta and Ijebu.
That is how it is all over the country. All over the country. So now the problem is not, you see, people that are agitating, they have right to agitate, because if they feel that maybe this development whatever is not being extended to their areas, then they would like to seek redress through creation of more states. Maybe they will be thinking of, maybe if they create more states in which will be their own, then they will be able to have at least access to development in their own domains. That is it.
Yeah. And if creation of states actually is to solve that problem, we must have been seeing it in the states we already have in Nigeria.
Although I don't think those people that are agitating for creation of this, of more states, I don't think they are more particular about Nigerian problem. They are not more particular about Nigerian problem, but they are more particular about having their own separate state. That is all. And some people, you see, let's also look at it from this dimension. In any situation, not everybody can have access to the pecuniaries of power. Do you understand? And those people that feel that, why? You see, look at our political system now. The politicians, they used to see power, but not all of them will get that power at the same time. But for those people that have been agitating, that have been seeking power for so long a year, so if they are unable to get it, you see how many people that have become the godfather in politics, but without having access to power. So their intention now is that if they have their own state, it will be easier for them to access power more than what they are having presently. I think that is what is prompting the current agitation now. And creation of more states, well, it is good, but how, with the present nature, I mean, with the present number of states that we have in the country, how many of them are viable? No, you see, their weaknesses were more exposed during the agitation for minimum wage.
Minimum wage.
Some
said body that they cannot
pay. The reason why it took so long for minimum wage to be implemented is that some governors said that they cannot afford to pay it, even as at the time they were paying the former 30,000 naira minimum wage. Some states could not pay.
Or some were paying 18, some 21.
Some were still paying 18, the old one. So you see, by the time they were initiating the 70,000 naira minimum wage, some governors said no, they cannot afford to pay it, until the presidency now came out and said, now with the huge allocation, Tinubu just mentioned that no governor should have complained about paying the minimum wage. That shows that so many states in the country are not viable. So now, if they now create more states in the country, you can imagine how many of them will find it difficult to survive.
And for those who will cite examples of some advanced, nations of the world, for instance, some will say U.S. operates a 52 state federation. So the question is, when we talk about U.S., we quickly mention Washington, we mention New York, maybe Chicago, but hardly will you hear anything about states like Arizona, like Alabama, like Connecticut, which means these states are not as vibrant as the states we have already mentioned.
Even you can say they are not as vibrant as the other ones.
The other ones.
Yes. But then they have their institutions working adequately.
For them.
Do we have such situation in this country? No. You see, Nigeria has not developed its institution to the extent that nobody, you see, all the institutions that we have in this country are the whims and caprices of whoever is in power, both at the federal and state level. So if, you see, you cannot compare Nigeria to other countries that are being ruled by institutions and not individuals. Nigeria is still being ruled by individuals and not institutions.
And another argument against creation of states is that today in Nigeria we have 109 senators, 260 members of House of Reps. And we Nigerians, we are complaining about cost of governance. A situation where a senator will have a driver, a cook, a house cleaner, a this and that.
Now, yes. If you look at it from that dimension,
exactly.
Are you now saying that the number of reps that we'll be voting for will be more than double what we have now? The number of senators will be more than double than what we have now.
If we have 30 more states,
which means that all the revenues, all the budget in the country will now be used to finance
National Assembly alone.
A view category of
some Nigerians. Not up to half a million Nigerians.
I don't.
So another argument, that is it, against creation of more states is that then, if you're talking about that the cost of governance is too much, that we are paying the senators, members of Reps, huge amount of allocations, and you are saying we still bring in more senators, more members of Reps.
We have not talked about the state houses of assembly.
Of course, the state governors, deputy governors, we have more councils, we have more councillors, more government chairmen, and we're even complaining about the ones we already have. So what are we talking about? So the argument there is that, okay, 36 states is okay, let us manage them.
There was a time they were thinking of merging these states.
Some of the states.
There was a time they were thinking of merging them together. How now are they now, suddenly turn over and begin to talk about creation of more states?
And another thing is that it's like many Nigerians who speak on radio and television programs, many of them, double speak. At times we talk about the return to federalism. You watch NTV.
Not just federalism, but true federalism.
True federalism, regional government. You watch some national television stations and you see lawyers, you see public affairs analysts telling you that the major problem, the major solution to Nigeria's problem is a return to regional government. So if you are talking about return to regional government of the years of Awolowo, Zik, Balewa, and why all of a sudden are we still now talking about creation of more states? Nigeria is a country where you walk 1 kilometer forward and you walk 10 kilometers backward. You say that okay, let us go back to regional government, let each region continue to develop itself, and all of a sudden you are saying
because you see what I see about that is that at times most of the people tend to be confused about the way forward for Nigeria.
Okay,
that is the reason why some people will talk backward and forward, forth and coming all the time. You see, it's like we Nigerians, we don't even know the solution to our problems. We don't know what could be the solution to our problem. That is the reason why you see some people talking about creation of more states, some people will talk about returning to regional system of government and so on and so forth. But I don't know, we've had so many conferences in this country that viable solutions have been provided, for the problem of this country. But why is it that the federal government cannot go back to those reports and try to see where we can make use of them to find solution to the problem of this country? At least we have about 2 or 3 conferences in this country.
Oh, we had one in 1995. I covered one in Abuja in 2014. And I know between 95 and 2014, we still had another one. Between 95 and that, we must have had about 3 or 4 national conferences. Why? Well documented, but dumped in the shelves.
Why is it that we cannot go? Why is it that we used to perambulate? We used to pretend as if Nigeria doesn't have a problem. Why? You see, our leaders knows that there is, in those reports, there are well-documented solutions to Nigeria's problems. The real solutions, they know, but maybe for one reason or the other, they try to jettison that. Why is it that they cannot go back to those reports? Why are they now proposing creation of more states? Would that be a solution to our problem? Why is it that we used to pretend, running away from the solution to our problem and trying to perambulate and postponing the evil days?
Nigeria has become a pawn in the game of chess in the hands of policymakers,
policymakers
in Nigeria.
Politicians.
Exactly.
Let's say politicians.
At a time, people were saying that if a southerner could be made the president of Nigeria, the problems of people in Niger Delta would be solved. But Dr. Goodluck Jonathan came and he spent 6 years as Nigeria's president. He is from Niger Delta.
Yeah.
Today, Niger Deltas are still crying of marginalization.
Yes.
At the time, we believed a Yoruba man who should do the Yoruba land, especially southwest. We had Obasanjo who ruled for 8 years. After he had left, we're still talking about Lagos Ibadan, expressway. So what are we talking about now? So it's no longer a matter of it should be our son, it should be our turn. It should be who is going to be the best to serve Nigeria better. Well, as you rightly said at the outset of the program, those who are agitating for more states, they have their own reasons.
They have their reasons anyway.
They might have seen it in a very different, perspective. In fact, in the newsroom on Monday, when some of us were debating it, somebody mentioned a particular state in the southwest. I don't want to mention the state because somebody from that state is much around here now. Look, let's go back to that state.
Okay.
How has the state developed since it was created in 1996? And everybody was asking, yes, it is true. Take the state capital out of that state, and then you talk about nothing.
Nothing again.
That is it. So it is possible for us to split Osun into 2 or 3 more states, but the question is, would that give us the desired development that we have?
Yes, that is the big question that needs to be answered.
Will it give us? We are not saying that development will come, overnight, just like that. It's going to be a gradual process. But we must have, been saying it. So, so what we are saying is that let us operate a 36-state federation. Let our leaders know what they are doing. They know the where they should pinch us. They should be able to help us, apply oil balm to it. 31 more states, 31 more governors, 31 times 3, 33 more senators to 109, and 9 times 31. That's about 200, well over 200 members of House of Reps added to 360 we already have.
And about 774 local government times 2. Or more than that.
That is it. And we are saying the senators should develop their constituencies. Senatorial districts, members of House of Reps should develop their constituencies. And we have been having them since 1999. That is it. But anyway, we are just here to pontificate. We are just here to theorize. Those at the helm of affairs, know better, so to speak, than we do know.
Although we tend to think that they know better. Well, they know better.
They know better. We can't say more than that.
No, we can only say that they know better. But that better is, it has relative meaning. What they knows better may not be better for me. That is it. What they knows better may not be better for me and may not be better for the society. That is the question.
Anyway, the bill is still at the House of Representatives. They are debating it. Nigerians are chipping in their own views too. If it says through the House of Representatives, it will go to the Senate, and if the Senate equally endorses it, we have no power just for the president, to review it, and if it suits him, he puts pen to paper
and assent to it.
And we have 31 more states. And in the next 10-15 years or so, we still continue to have agitations. Maybe by the time we have 31 more, 31 plus 36 will give us 67. We are already bigger than America on the paper, and not by development, and not by the welfare of Nigerians.
Well, I just hope that one day we'll find solution to our problem in this country.
Thank you so much, Kayode Adebayo, for coming on in the newsroom.
Thank you, Tony, for having me today.
It's my pleasure hosting you. Oluwatoyin Yusuf is my name. Join our colleagues tomorrow on in the newsroom. Until then, stay tuned to OSBC Television. Good evening.
Mondays through Fridays, 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. in the newsroom. You can't afford to miss it. Mondays through Fridays, 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. in the newsroom. You can't afford to miss it.